Happy morning, it's Donna from Enchanted, and I just wanted to show you what we've been up to recently. This was a tree that I was very drawn to as soon as I'd completed and purchased the pasture. We've identified it fully now, and I can introduce to you my 60-year plus Malus sylvestris. Now, Malus sylvestris is a wilder version of what we used to have in our countryside as the crabapple. So this is not the same as the crab apples that you will buy in the garden centres and nurseries. They are all tiny little trees meant for residential gardens with bright red or yellow fruits. This is a wild version of a very, very old-fashioned apple tree. So it has got a certain height to it that you wouldn't normally be able to buy. And as a wild crab apple, the little fruits look like tiny golf ball sized versions of apples, but they are inedible. And crab apples were used to make crab apple jelly, and can be used in chutneys. You can boil them down. They're not very sweet from what I can gather. So this old tree needs some work, definitely, and it's been overwhelmed with brambles, which is a bit better than ivy. So I'm thinking that the brambles have probably established and been left to run riot for about 10 years. Now, I understand that brambles are a natural plant and they also provide food, and that in a normal wild situation in a forest, woodland or open countryside, privately owned and conserved, that you'd let this all go on and you wouldn't do what we're doing, which is clearing the tree. The tree would deteriorate under these conditions. Its life expectancy would be somewhat shortened. So for you on the pasture, I need you to clearly see this tree. I need you to appreciate the age and the length of time it's taken to reach this size. And also, hopefully, I can show you how we are going to try and look after and nurture this so that it still can be used by birds and insects, but that all the damage which has occurred over the years, which is a natural part of the life cycle of any tree, will be dealt with. And that means that we would be looking to very, very carefully remove damaged dead wood. I'm really so in love with this tree, I'm not prepared to let it fall over. So as you can see, we're having to cut the brambles. Brambles are one of those plants that will double-ended root. So the brambles starting at the base of the tree, it's growing upwards into the tree, could be about 15 feet, and then on its way back down, it roots again from its growth point into the ground. And that's really a way of being a very successful plant. So we haven't managed to dig any brambles out. We're just concentrating today at uncovering this gorgeous old lady, so that we can see what's what, and then I'll make another video to get to work showing you exactly how we're going to look after her. In the background you can see one of the beautiful oaks in the Rakehill area. They always seem to me to be a family of oaks, all mature, all at the same age. Obviously, one would hope, completely protected. over 100 years old, beautiful shape, and what a lovely background they make. So, as you can see, these double-ended brambles are quite tricky to get out, very long and quite ruthless, so you've got to be wearing decent gloves to stop you being injured. It really is very, very time consuming. It takes hours. I think the total, obviously I've speeded it up, the total time we took to clear the tree was about an hour and a half. We using loppers and secateurs and lots of willpower. And this is this beautiful, beautiful tree. Now, it's just the shape of this that I find so lovely. You can see really healthy lichen growing, and now we can quite clearly see the damage. Now, when I come across a limb like this, that means that it's been compromised. It doesn't mean to say there's not going to be any life left on that branch. The branch I'm holding now is completely dead. It's a question of very carefully looking at branches, working out, tracing them back to where they're coming from and the growth point of healthy growth, and initially just removing everything dead. I mean, the trunk above there is really quite split. We've got lots of habitat in this old lady's trunk. I would imagine we're going to have lots of things overwintering. You can see it's actually tried to grow out from the base as well. I think that's going to be the vigour of the rootstock. And it's going to change shape. Now, when you have that split in the trunk, I showed you that already in a previous hawthorn video. That's when the tree has withstood seasons where it's had too much water and then no water, drought and then too much water, drought and then too much water. And I think it's kind of, it works that the trunk and the bark actually contracts and restricts as it tries to survive. Trees will often lose whole branches in an effort to keep the main growth going. And they're just so resilient. But this is the shape I wanted you to see. You don't often see trees sold now that will produce this beautiful, romantic, low bough situation. And I just think she's so beautiful. Hopefully, I'll be videoing the beautiful blossom that we get and then the fruit. Thank you for watching.